In the upscale Saket district of Delhi, two luxury cars pull up in front of the PVR cinema. Inside are 8 people, 6 women and 2 men. 2 of the women are airline hostesses. One works for Air India, and the other is employed by a European company. There are university students as well. All of them are dressed in expensive clothing. Within seconds, police vehicles surround the cars. Officers move in quickly. Doors are opened. Everyone inside is detained on the spot. One of the women bursts into tears, insisting, "We are innocent." But the police already have evidence: call records, client lists, transaction logs, payment charts. And among the group is one man who immediately stands out. Long hair, a full beard, dressed head to toe in saffron robes. He introduces himself as Ichchadhari Swami Bhimanand Ji Maharaj Chitrakoot Wale. But the police know him by a very different name: Sex Baba. What does Ichchadhari mean? In Indian mythology, it refers to a shape-shifting serpent, a mystical being believed to have extraordinary powers, capable of taking human form, blessed with longevity and supernatural abilities. And this man had convinced people that he possessed these powers. "I am not an ordinary human," he used to say. "I am an Ichchadhari. I hold the spirit of a 1,000-year-old serpent I can transform. I have tantric abilities. I can bring you prosperity. I can heal your illnesses. But for that, you must trust me completely. Special rituals are required." People believed him, especially women, wealthy women, educated women, airline hostesses, university students. Many of them fell under the influence of this so-called Ichchadhari Baba. But the truth was completely different. He was not a guru. He was not a tantric. He was the mastermind behind one of the largest trafficking networks in India's history, an underground operation worth nearly 500 crore rupees, roughly $100 million, involving over 100 agents and more than 1,000 women. And the most shocking part, the client list included influential individuals, police officers, politicians, and businessmen. His real name was Shiv Murat Dwivedi, born in 1971 in the small town of Chitrakoot, Uttar Pradesh, to a poor family with limited opportunities. He left school in the 9th grade, barely 16 or 17 years old, and when he couldn't find work, he realized that staying in Chitrakoot offered no future. In 1988, he moved to Delhi with big dreams, becoming wealthy, becoming someone important. His first job was as a security guard in a 5-star hotel in Nehru Place, earning only about 6,000 rupees a month, barely enough to survive. But Shiv was patient and observant. At the hotel, he watched wealthy guests arriving in expensive cars, wearing designer clothes and fine jewelry, and he wondered how they had achieved such financial comfort. Eventually, he understood the truth. Many people became rich through easier, hidden avenues. In 1996, he changed jobs and became the manager of a salon in Lajpat Nagar called Lifeline Beauty Parlor, where he noticed that many massage parlor ads in newspapers were actually disguised operations running behind closed doors and generating large amounts of money. Shiv formed a plan. Why shouldn't he run something similar? But he needed clients, and he needed people who would trust him. That trust, he decided, could be built through religion. In 1997, he created his first underground network. Small at first, but the police quickly discovered it and arrested him under the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act, though he was released on bail shortly after. In 1998, he was arrested again for theft and again received bail. In 2003, he attempted another operation in Noida and was arrested once more. Shiv realized the pattern. His usual methods failed because there was no cover, no protection, and too much exposure. What he needed was a completely new strategy, and he was clever enough to find one. He decided that the perfect disguise for his expanding operation would be a religious identity. In India, gurus were seen as untouchable, and ashrams were treated as sacred places, and the police could not simply walk into a religious compound because religious freedom offered a layer of protection. Shiv made his decision. He was no longer Shiv Murat Dwivedi. He would now become Ichchadhari Swami Bhimanand Ji Maharaj Chitrakoot Wale. He completely transformed his appearance, growing out his hair, keeping a full beard, and wearing saffron robes. He claimed to be a devoted follower of Sai Baba, saying things like, "I was born with Sai Baba's blessing. I am a special soul. I am an Ichchadhari spirit." His first step was to rent a small temple in Badarpur in South Delhi, a temple dedicated to Sai Baba. He began giving sermons there, free of charge, requesting only donations. The early months were difficult, since no one knew who he was. But slowly people began to gather because Shiv was an excellent speaker who knew how to influence people. He spoke about how to reduce stress, how to find ease in life, and how to attract prosperity. He even produced a video CD titled Shri Sai Amrit Varsha, a recording of his sermons, and distributed it for promotion. His followers increased, especially among women, because Shiv gave special attention to them and repeatedly told them, "You are special. The divine loves you, I can help you." Eventually, wealthy followers started to join, donations increased, and Shiv invested heavily in Chitrakoot, building a 200-bed hospital, constructing a massive temple, and purchasing properties. Shiv was no longer just a guru. He had become a businessman, officially registered as a religious organization, exempt from taxes and shielded from police scrutiny. And now he was ready to activate his real plan. Shiv had now become extremely famous, and everyone in the southern parts of Delhi knew him. They called him Ichchadhari Baba, the shape-shifting saint. But Shiv wasn't making real money from sermons. The real income came from somewhere else: private consultations, the so-called tantric rituals. His method was simple. A wealthy woman would come to him, maybe with marital problems, maybe an illness, maybe business troubles. Shiv would listen carefully, showing empathy, saying, "I understand this is a very difficult situation, but don't worry, I can help you." Then he would add, "But normal sermons won't be enough. Your case is special. It requires a tantric ritual. Very powerful, very effective, but it must remain secret. No one should know, or the energy will scatter." The woman would be curious. "A tantric ritual? How does it work?" Shiv would explain, "In tantric rituals, the negative energy in the body is cleansed. But for that, physical contact is necessary because energy flows through the body." The woman would hesitate, but Shiv continued immediately. "I am Ichchadhari. My touch is sacred. I am not an ordinary man. My energy comes from the divine. You must trust me." And she trusted him, because Shiv had treated her kindly for months, because other followers around her believed in him, because he had a temple in one of Delhi's most luxurious areas, because wealthy people donated to him. "Fine," the woman would say. "What is the ritual?" Shiv would take her to a private room, quiet, closed, hidden. Sometimes to his luxury apartment, sometimes to a restricted area inside his temple. "Relax, close your eyes, I will chant mantras," he would say. And he would begin. First touching the shoulders, then the back, then more. The woman would feel uncomfortable and ask, "Is this normal?" But Shiv reassured her, "Yes, this is part of the ritual. Just relax." Sometimes women resisted and said, "No, this is wrong." Then Shiv would threaten them. "If we don't complete the ritual, the negative energy will stay inside you. Worse things will happen. Your illness will get worse. Your marriage will collapse. Misfortune will come to your family." The woman would become afraid and stay silent. Sometimes Shiv used drugs, telling them, "This is a special drink, a tantric medicine. You have to take it." The woman would drink it, lose consciousness, and Shiv would do whatever he wanted. But Shiv didn't stop at assault. He slowly drew them into his prostitution network. His method was extremely manipulative. After the ritual ended, Shiv would say, "You have a very powerful energy. God has chosen you for a special purpose." Then he added, "I will give you a special assignment. You will meet some very important people. You will transfer spiritual energy to them. This way, you will help them and also earn a lot of money." When the woman asked, "But who are these people?" Shiv replied, "Very important individuals, politicians, businessmen, high-ranking police officers. They also need spiritual assistance. You will conduct special sessions with them." Some women refused, but Shiv would immediately resort to blackmail. "Do you remember the ritual we performed last week? I recorded it. If you don't cooperate, I will send this to your family, to your husband. I will put it online." The woman had no choice. She was terrified of her family finding out, of being shamed and rejected by society, and she gave in. This is how Shiv's prostitution network grew. Flight attendants, university students, housewives, all became part of the operation. Some willingly, some by force, some under the influence of drugs. And who were the clients? Extremely high-profile individuals, senior officers from the Delhi police, politicians from the BSP party, wealthy businessmen, even foreigners. There were women brought from Las Vegas, and a Russian woman named Layla worked in the network. The operation was highly organized. Shiv kept 5 diaries, documenting everything: the names of the women, their phone numbers, the price lists, and the identities of the clients. A single woman could earn 250,000 rupees a day, roughly $3,000 to $4,000, and Shiv had more than 100 women. Mathematically, it meant millions per day, tens of millions per month, and hundreds of millions per year. By 2010, Shiv's wealth had reached 500 crore rupees, around $100 million. In addition to the hospital and temple in Chitrakoot, he owned luxury apartments in some of Delhi's most expensive neighborhoods: Saket, Dwarka, Mirauli, each worth millions. His cars included BMWs and Mercedes. Every apartment and every room had CCTV cameras. Were they for security or for blackmail? Possibly both. And the most important factor was protection. Shiv had strong connections with police officers and politicians because they too were his clients. They used the network themselves, which meant they protected him in return. It was February 2010, and the Commonwealth Games were approaching in Delhi. They were set to begin in October, a massive international event that would bring foreign tourists, athletes, and journalists to the city. Shiv was excited because he saw it as a huge opportunity. More clients, more money. He began recruiting new women and even started taking English lessons because he would need to communicate with foreign customers. He told one of the women, "The Commonwealth Games will be a gold mine for us. We will earn millions in just 1 week. We might even have a chance to move abroad." But something went wrong. No one knows exactly why. Maybe Shiv had grown too big and too visible. Maybe his rivals were jealous. Maybe some of his influential clients saw him as a threat. Or maybe a few honest officers in the police force finally decided to stop him. Whatever the reason, on February 26, 2010, a major operation was launched. It happened in Saket, Delhi, in front of the PVR cinema. It was evening. 2 cars were parked. One was Shiv's luxury vehicle. The other belonged to his assistant. Inside were 8 people: Shiv, his assistant Ankit, and 6 women. The women were attractive and well-dressed: flight attendants, students, even a model hopeful trying to enter Bollywood. They were all on their way to meet clients, but the police were waiting. The cars were suddenly surrounded. Officers shouted, "Police! Step out of the vehicle!" Shiv was stunned. "Why? I am a holy man. You cannot touch me," he said. But the police ignored him. Everyone was arrested and taken to the station. Shocking details began to emerge. One of the women was a flight attendant working for an Indian airline. Another worked for a European company and was pursuing an MBA. Another was a model trying to break into Bollywood. The police raided Shiv's properties in Saket and Dwarka. Everywhere they found the same things: detailed notebooks, phone logs, large amounts of cash, jewelry, luxury items, and extensive CCTV footage. The media exploded with headlines. The so-called spiritual leader has been arrested. The man who claimed mystical powers is linked to a major criminal network. News channels ran the story non-stop, and debates filled television panels. But the story did not end there, because the deeper the investigation went, the darker the discoveries became. In Kanpur, the police found another apartment belonging to Shiv. That location was also being used as a hub for the operation. Neighbors said there were around 12 women living there, all dressed in orange clothing, and added that foreign women had also been seen entering the building. When authorities examined Shiv's large temple complex in Chitrakoot, they found private rooms, hidden passages, and a full surveillance setup. Everything was recorded and documented. Investigators also discovered that Shiv had connections in universities and coaching centers, where he held so-called stress relief seminars. In reality, these events were used to recruit young women into his network. He had also planned a major Shachandi Yagya ceremony on April 25th in Kanpur, involving over 100 priests, but it was now impossible because he was behind bars. As the police uncovered the size of the network, they were stunned. There were over 100 intermediaries and more than 1,000 women involved, spread across Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Mumbai, and even beyond India. And then there was the client list, which included law enforcement officials, local leaders, and influential business figures. None of those names were revealed to the public because they were highly powerful and protected themselves. Shiv's close associate Ankit was also arrested. He had previously worked as a taxi driver, but after meeting Shiv, he suddenly became wealthy. He purchased 3 apartments in Mehrauli and had millions of rupees in his bank accounts. Later, he was charged under the MCOCA, the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act, because this was not just a case of illegal activities, but a full-scale organized crime network. In 2017, Shiv was arrested again, this time for a different offense. He had taken 3 million rupees from a woman after promising to secure a government job for her, but he never delivered on that promise. The legal proceedings took a long time, but eventually Shiv was found guilty. The exact length of his sentence is unclear, but penalties under MCOCA are known to be extremely severe. As for whether Shiv is still in prison today, or whether he is alive in 2025, there is no confirmed information. The media stopped following the case as new scandals took over public attention. Still, Shiv's story has not been forgotten. The story of Baba Ichchadhari is not just the story of one deceptive man. It is one of the most striking examples of religious manipulation in India and around the world. Shiv was never a real guru. He never possessed any mystical powers. He was never a shape-shifting spiritual being. He was simply a very clever fraud who used religion, spirituality, and people's trust to earn millions. He did it through several methods. First was image, the orange robes, the long hair and beard, the association with Sai Baba, the promotional videos, the large temple, and the hospital. All of it made people believe he was a genuine spiritual figure. Second was gradual influence. He began with kindness, free sermons, emotional support, and personal attention. People trusted him. Then came the private sessions, then the so-called rituals, and then the manipulation. Each step was small, and people fell into the trap without realizing it. Third was fear and intimidation. Statements like, "Divine punishment will come," or "Misfortune will reach your family," or "I have recordings," kept his followers silent. Fourth was his high-profile connections. Law enforcement officers and politicians were among those who sought his services, so they protected him. For years, no one touched him. Fifth was the religious shield. In India, spiritual centers and ashrams are often treated as sacred spaces. Authorities hesitate to intervene due to concerns about religious freedom. Shiv used that protection to his advantage. What happened to his victims? Flight attendants, students, homemakers. Many experienced emotional harm, some faced social stigma, and many remained silent out of fear or shame. And what about the clients? Not one was prosecuted. None of their names were ever revealed because they were powerful enough to protect themselves. After 2010, India saw many similar scandals involving self-proclaimed spiritual leaders. Asaram Bapu, Gurmeet Ram Rahim, Nithyananda, Sant Rampal, all using the same formula: exploit faith, mislead people, and abuse their trust. And still, little has changed. Millions continue to follow gurus without question. The belief that the guru is divine and must never be questioned remains deeply rooted. Baba Ichchadhari claimed to be a mystical being capable of transformation. But in reality, he was simply dangerous and deceptive. And it is important to remember There are no shape-shifting saints, no miraculous tantric powers. There are only manipulators, and the only way to stop them is to question everything. Always. Shiv Murat Dwivedi went from working as a security guard to becoming Sex Baba, rising from a salary of 6,000 rupees a month to a fortune of 500 crore rupees. But in the end, he ended up in prison. The lesson is clear: religion should not be used as a shield, and the title of guru should not grant immunity. Questioning is not a sin. On the contrary, questioning saves lives.